Hindi lang medyo maingay. Maingay talaga. Era, hi! Hi! Era, why? Galit siya. Anyways, it's a bit noisy, but let me share with you 24 realizations and life lessons that I've gathered in my 24 years here on Earth. Can you believe that I'm already 24? Last year lang nag-celebrate ako ng 23rd birthday and now I'm 24. I feel like I'm still at the age of 18 but with the responsibility of being 24. Pero share ko lang that this list has been going on since 2022. It was a draft in my blog back then because I planned on doing this. Pero I never really got into it. So, gawin natin siya ngayon. And today I have a little bit of time. So, let me share this with you while I make cinnamon rolls. Let's go. Era! Meow! Ay, here. Okay, I am up. Number 1, some plans are just really meant to be drawings. I'm pretty sure that a lot of our plans for the past years, especially during the pandemic, became drawings that were left in the dark. They were left uncolored. Well, I didn't have any big plans back in 2020, but the pandemic made me realize a lot of things. Like, I got hit with a lot of realizations. So the plans that I had for the past years that were just really left as plans, they were never colored, they didn't happen, and I did try my best to make them happen, but it just didn't work out. Was I angry? Yes. Was I disappointed? A very big yes. And did I regret anything? Honestly, no. I didn't regret anything. Because in the process of making those plans and trying to make them happen, I learned and experienced a lot of things which I don't think I will ever learn nor experience kung lahat nag-work sa paraan na gusto ko. So, I didn't really lose anything. Number 2, regret is my fear and fear is my regret. Well, that sounds weird, but clever. There are a lot of things that I didn't get to do for the past 24 years because of my fear. Fear that it will turn out as a failure and fear that I'll get hurt in the process and end up as a disappointment. Now that I'm 24, I realize that the pain of regret is much worse than any pain that I can possibly encounter. Kasi nandun yung mga what ifs eh. What if I didn't do this? What if I did this? What if I took the risk? What if I tried? So, this is me at 24. Who knows what will happen when I turn 25 or 26, but so far this is my realization. And I regret that I was afraid of a lot of things and I end up missing out on a lot of experiences. Number 3, take risks. Very cliche, but a great reminder for me to wake up and seize the day. Carpe diem. Getting out of my safe zone is a huge risk for me, and I guess for everyone too. It's like stepping out of the boat and into the ocean, and you know that there's a great possibility that you'll drown. But if you never try, you'll never know. I realized as I grew older that these risks will actually help me grow as a person. But remember that along with taking risks, you must also seek God's plan for you. It is not enough that you're fearless and willing, because no matter how ready you are, if it's not God's plan for you, you'll see failure in the end instead of victory. Number 4, let go of regrets. So this kind of connects with my number 2. So there are many days that I lived with regrets. The what ifs, what could have been, the thought gas, and everything in between. Until one day, I realized that there's no point in living in them. There's no point in living in the past. The only thing that you should keep from the past are the lessons and motivations that will help you do better in the present and the future. At 24, I decided to let go of the regrets that I had since my teenage years because it somehow makes me feel ungrateful that God has led me to this path and how He redirected me back to His plan despite of all my failures. Regrets will prevent us from living life in a much beautiful perspective. A perspective that grows, a perspective that learns, a perspective that sees a bigger picture and not just the what ifs. Number 5, one at a time. I used to think that multitasking is something that's truly feasible for human beings and something that is applaudable until I realized that it's impossible to do two things at the same time. Do you ever feel like you're always running out of time and that you have to do everything all at the same time? Well, I do. Then I realized how disorganized I became because of this. I couldn't think properly because I was thinking about a lot of things at the same time. I was trying to find solutions to different problems and I'm trying to get them done all at the same time, which is very impossible. Number 6, young love. Oh, young love. Back when everything was good. No, sweet and innocent. I've had my fair share of puppy loves, crushes, and first love. Now that I'm 24, I see myself more in the persona of the people who are younger than me. I always tell them to enjoy this stage in their lives and not stress too much about it. I cannot say that I definitely enjoyed this stage in my life, but I was able to explore and feel different emotions because of this. Sometimes a part of me wishes that all love can be young and innocent, kind, sweet type of love. However, as I grew older, I realized that the type of love that we need in our lives to help us grow is a mature love, and young love will stay in our memories forever. Meaning that the love that we truly need is a mature one that only God can give. Number 7, forgiving doesn't mean forgetting. I always hear from a lot of people that you cannot forgive if you cannot forget. And honestly, I don't think that's true. Don't get me wrong, okay? Before you start judging me, hear me out. How can you possibly forget something that's already etched in your memory? Unless you banged your head so hard you ended up having amnesia. I have forgiven a lot of people without forgetting what they did to me. But I don't let these things affect me anymore. I still remember the images of what they did to me, pieces that will forever be in my mind, but I choose not to let them affect my decisions and the way I live. And I think that's how you should forgive. You don't live in the remembrance of the pain, but you live in compassion and kindness, not only to the people around you, but also to those who have hurt you. But there's a kind of forgiveness that truly forgets, and that's the forgiveness that God only gives. You know, when God forgives, He completely forgets the sins that we did. It's very unlike us human beings that couldn't forget in a snap. And I'm praying, I hope, that a lot of people would know more of this forgiveness that you can only receive from God. Number 8, be kinder. Another cliche. I've heard this so many times that sometimes I feel like it has lost its meaning and relevance. I always remind myself to be kinder to people. I've had my own experiences where people were rude and insensitive to my feelings. In my 24 years of existence, I realized that rude and insensitive human beings really do exist, and I do not want other people to experience what I had experienced. So I try to be kinder. I try to be more understanding. I try to live in the fact that a lot of people are hurting too. That I do not know their pain and I do not know their life. So the best thing I can do for them is to be kind. A little bit of kindness goes a long way. Number 9, enjoy the little things. Cliche again, but underrated. It is only when I entered my 20s that I realized how happy I feel when I do little things. Just like buying coffee from a newly opened coffee shop, eating my favorite snacks, getting to draw or paint, talking with my friends, reading a book, seeing the sunset, etc. I realized that these smallest things really matter in life. It gives you these little joys that fills up your day. It seeps into the deepest and hardest to reach cracks in your heart and somehow makes you feel satisfied and complete. Number 10, laugh. They say laughter is the best medicine, and at 24, I do believe it's true. Although life in general isn't really made up of just the happy moments, we must allow ourselves to laugh. Laugh out loud if you need to. If it's medicine, we need the right dosage every day to keep us going. 11, cry. A lot of people think that crying is a weakness. Now that I'm 24, I sort of developed this thinking that I really don't want others to see me cry and think that I am so vulnerable. But eventually, I realized that I don't want people to see me crying for the sake of my peace of mind. There's something beautiful about having that private moment to yourself because crying somehow heals you. There were times in my life where I was just so confused and frustrated in the situation, but I really don't know what I'm feeling. Parang hindi ko malabas kung ano ba yung nararamdaman ko. And sometimes these feelings become bottled up, and if something triggers it, it will flow out. And the saddest thing is it can come out as a different emotion. It can turn into anger or unwanted happiness. So to prevent that from happening, I listen to the saddest of songs, watch the saddest films, and cry my heart out, and slowly, I feel better. 12. Be sad. Almost similar to crying. It's so common for people to say, "Uy, be happy, ngiti ka naman dyan." But it's not really ideal to say, "Be sad, malungkot ka naman." But let me tell you that it's okay to be sad when you are sad. You don't have to push yourself to be happy. When something bad happens and you feel down, namnamin mo yung feeling na yon. Damahin mo, because that's the only way you'll be able to overcome it. Number 13, do what you're passionate about. This can be confusing, and also, this is circumstantial. Doing what you're passionate about doesn't totally apply to your life in general, because I still believe that not everything we're passionate of are what God has planned for us. But it can be the smallest things in our life. For example, you like painting, you like drawing, or baking, then you can develop this hobby when you have the time. You are passionate about coffee, then try making one from scratch or learning how to make cafe-style coffee and develop your recipes. You're passionate about serving other people, you're passionate about helping other people. So do it. Go help other people. Go serve other people in a way that is also good for you. These things can give you fulfillment and joy. But always remember, in terms of passion, always pray to God about the things you are passionate about so He can give you guidance on what you can pursue as a life profession or as a hobby. 14. Breathe. Rest. When the pandemic happened, the world stopped. Everything was on lockdown, but a few months after the lockdown, I realized that the world didn't stop. It kept going. But we who are confined in our own spaces, locked down in our houses, are the only ones that stopped. The world went on. The year passed and I felt like I had to run to keep up. But when life tells you to breathe and take a rest, you should. Breathe because you might run out of air from all the running you're doing just so you can keep up with the world. Resting is not being lazy. Resting means you are listening to your body and mind and knowing when to take a pause when everything is overwhelming. 15. Open doors. Similar to taking risks, sometimes it's hard for us to open our doors even when the opportunity comes knocking. Although we have to be careful to which opportunities we should open our doors to, we should not be afraid of opening them. Number 16. Give up. They say quitters never win and winners never quit. But I say, when it's time to give up and let it go. Some things or opportunities are not really meant for us. When this realization dawns on us, learn to give up and let go. Because if you keep holding on to something that is not meant to be yours, you'll end up missing the ones that are supposed to be yours. You're not weak when you quit. It only means you're growing and maturing. Choose the battles that you fight. Number 17, go back to your comfort zone. If there is a stepping out of your comfort zone and taking risks, then there's a going back to your comfort zone as well. If you're outside of your comfort zone and everything feels lost and you don't know what to do, go back to your comfort zone and ask yourself why you started the journey in the first place. Go back to the beginning. Go back to the basic when all feels lost. Find comfort, and once you're ready, you can go out once again. 18. Forever, we are young. I feel like this is my mantra in life. I always say this because truthfully, I doubt that I'm still young. With how fast-paced the world is right now, the age of 24 feels like 40. So much pressure to achieve so many things that I need to remind myself that there is time for everything. And my definition of youth isn't just about age. It's a state of mind where you keep on reaching out for your goals every single day, no matter how old you are. It is reaching for your dreams and the plans God has made for you. 19, I am not alone. Introvert kasi ako. Joke lang. This has nothing to do with personality types. But in my 20s, I have to assure myself that I'm not alone. That I'm not alone in this journey of being an adult. And not because I have many friends or family or community, because even if they are around, I sometimes feel like I'm alone in my battles. The truth is, I am not alone in my battles because the Lord is with me. It is a promise that He gave in His Word that He will always fulfill for His children. And number 20, it's okay to be different. It's so hard to accept this, but I should, and we all probably should. Well, not all of us are the same. We are all unique, we are all different, we are all wonderfully and fearfully made by God. But sometimes there's a difference that stands out, and sometimes there's a difference that makes you feel that you're alone. In a sea of worldly beliefs and principles, I am definitely different because I am a Christian. It is hard to stay grounded and to continue in what I believe in, but I learned that in order to survive, it is very important that I know who I am, that I know my identity. 21, life goes on. This is self-explanatory. Life goes on. That's it. No matter what happens, life continues, so get up, start again, and seize the day. Number 22, trust in the Lord always. Many people say this, but not many people practice it. I'm actually guilty of that. In my day-to-day life, there's just this big possibility that I will trust my abilities to get me through the day. That is why it is always important to start your day with a prayer and a devotion, a quiet time with the Lord where you can surrender everything to Him, trusting Him, being humble, and believing that He will get you through the day, help you avoid temptations, and end the day victoriously. 23. Respect. Respect is a vital part of being a human. If you know how to respect others, others will learn to respect you. That's what they say. They also say that respect is earned. But I say, being a human comes with respect for all kinds of people. The respect I'm talking about is not the kind of honorable respect, but respect for someone because they are human too. I think that's the basic kind of respect. Respect this person because he or she is a human being, but honorable respect is different. I think that's what is earned. But simple and basic respect should not be earned. It's like an instinct that you give to others. That simple respect allows us to be more understanding and be kinder to other people. Okay, so here are the cinnamon rolls. Ta-da! So medyo nasunog lang. Ayos natin. Cream cheese. Frosting. Let's put some. Number 24, always seek God first. So in the 24 years that I've lived here on earth, wow, diba? I learned the importance of knowing your priorities or making your priorities straight. Like, what's on top of your to-do list? Ano talaga yung unahin mo? Because once you've already aligned your priorities, everything follows. Once you know the first thing that you would do for the day, the rest of your to-dos or your plans will just follow or slowly unfold. You just have to get that top priority right. And for me, it was a hard and tough journey in realizing that God should be at the top of my to-do list. Like, he should be the top priority. And once I knew that I should seek him first, my other plans would just follow. Like, I would make plans around him and making sure na wala akong natatamaan na commitments or ministries that I have. In the beginning, it's very difficult, but once you've already incorporated this in your life, you'll realize that it's not that hard. You just have to slowly but surely surrender your plans to God. So that's it for my 24 realizations and life lessons. So let's go blow this candle ng cinnamon. Wait lang. Mabilis matunaw yung candle, but let's go. Sobrang ingay. My gosh. Kasi tatanggal na. That's it for my 24 realizations and life lessons. I hope that you'll get something out of it as well. This will also be posted on my blog so you can revisit this. The cinnamon rolls are so good. Nasunog lang yung taas pero malambot yung baba. So yun na yun. Bye guys. Always and forever, H.